Okay, so this is the current state of the kitchen. Well, not in the beginning, but kind of somewhat early mid-process. I meant to do a full tour before we started making changes in here, but we kind of accidentally started ripping up stuff and then it was too late to show you guys. So that's what all the stuff on top of the refrigerator and the stuff right here came out of some cabinets that we have had to empty out. Basically the whole thing started because our dishwasher had been leaking in our cabinets. It leaked in this cabinet and it leaked in here underneath the sink. And basically it had evidently been leaking for a long time because the entire bottoms, like the bottom part of the cabinets, were saturated with water and warping, chipping, getting holes in them. So we thought we were gonna be able to just replace the bottoms. But once we actually tore out the bottoms, we realized there is, I don't know, water damage, mildew, grossness, rotting away cabinets, bubbling water here on this side. There's bubbling water in the cabinet on the other side. What we're gonna do is, I don't know, we don't wanna have to pay for a whole new kitchen, like all new cabinets. And really all that needs to be replaced is this cabinet and that cabinet. So we found cabinet bases at Lowe's that are unfinished that we can take our doors and drawer fronts off of and put on the other, like the new cabinet boxes. And then we're gonna have everything painted the same color. So once we do that, you shouldn't be able to tell that the bases of these or boxes of these cabinets are gonna be different than the rest. So painting all the cabinets, obviously we're gonna pull this back out, fix the drywall at the same time that we fix the cabinets. We also have to see if the drywall behind this cabinet is damaged. It probably is. It's honestly probably this whole section of drywall back there that's gonna have to be replaced. We're planning on doing that, and then we're having cabinet or countertop people come in and tear out the existing countertop, which I've always hated, and put in granite. We're not doing a granite backsplash. We're gonna do like a tile backsplash. I don't wanna have like a snack bar type island anymore. I just want it to be an island that like stops right there. So I already sold my bar stools on Facebook Marketplace, and when we get a new countertop, it's gonna stop like right here, and we're not gonna have this overhang, which I think is gonna be really nice and open over here. And this flooring runs all the way through our kitchen, into the half bathroom, and into the laundry room, which the washer's going, so it's kind of loud. So whatever we get in here, we're gonna come through and carry all the way through here, so it's all the same thing. We've been here since 2006. I've never liked this cabinet color. I've never liked the countertop. But you know, it's not cheap. It's one of those things you just kind of have to wait till the right time. And I guess the cabinets being damaged by the dishwasher was the right time. So that's the plan. I'm really excited because I think it's gonna make this room look so much brighter, like a whole new space. And I'm just tired of how dark it is. I'm really anxious for white cabinets and light countertops and a different floor, and just have a whole much more updated modern kitchen. So this is the before. So it's all finished, and it's been about almost exactly 3 months to the day, a little over 3 months exactly, start to finish, from what it looked like before with just the decor of it, with the color of the cabinets, the countertops and all that, the flooring, but also the water damage that we had. That took a long time to get fixed before we could even start on the cosmetic stuff. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I wish we hadn't waited 13 years to do this, because I never really liked the way that it was before. It was perfectly functional, it just was not my taste, and it made this whole kitchen really dark. So that's one of the main goals that I had when I wanted to redo the kitchen, was to brighten it up, to make it really, really bright. And I wish that it wasn't cloudy outside today, because as bright as it is right now, hopefully on screen, it's normally even brighter than this when the sun is shining. But it's gloomy outside today, so it's a little bit darker in here than even normally it would be. But it looks like a whole new kitchen. It's like somebody else's kitchen. Every time I see in here, I'm like, wait, that's my kitchen. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm gonna try to remember everything we did, where everything came from, and walk you through all the changes. So you saw the before, you saw the color of the cabinets, you saw the color of the countertops, and of course the flooring was just like roll vinyl flooring, nothing fancy. And of course you saw the water damage, which affected this entire section. So obviously we ripped out the drywall behind this section. These are actually new cabinet boxes with the original doors. So we did have to go ahead and replace this cabinet box, that cabinet box, and then put our old doors on these, the new cabinet boxes, and then everything was painted to match. So we had somebody come in and paint all of the cabinets. We used Benjamin Moore. I cannot remember the name of the paint that we used. I'll try to remember to put it in the description box. It is specifically for cabinets. I'm hoping it holds up. It's doing pretty good so far. So that, I think, obviously made the biggest difference, was the color of the cabinets and the countertops, which are granite. As you can see, I wanted something really bright with hints of dark in there, different kind of tones of gray and black, and that's exactly what I got. There was another granite that I do kind of think I would have liked better. There's nothing wrong with this granite at all. I just think I would have liked the other stuff better, but I still love this. And what we did here on the island, if you remember, it had an overhang here, and we used to have chairs that nobody ever sat in. And to make it a little bit more modern and for what we need, when we had the granite put in, I told them to not have that overhang. So we don't need the chairs, we don't need the overhang, and that opened up the kitchen a little bit more, because now we have more room on this side to walk and just kind of give the room a little more of an airy feel. But like I said, the cabinets turned out really, really good. The guy that did them did a good job. He was really thorough. And we went ahead and decided to use they look black, but they're actually called bronze. All of the knobs and drawer pulls are, I wanted black. I thought about doing stainless, but I really thought I wanted a little bit more contrast. So we went with the bronze. Even though it does look black, it's not quite a true black. And I did look at the black, and the black was really, really stark, and it was really matte. I didn't like that, and I'm really happy with the way that these knobs look on the cabinets. And it's really easy to fix. If I decide later on down the road I want to go with brushed nickel to match the stainless steel appliances, I definitely can, but for now that is the way that we have it, and I like it that way. Which leads me to the appliances. Obviously the dishwasher was what had caused all the water damage to begin with. That was the first thing that we got. We have all GE appliances except for the microwave, which is a non-branded Whirlpool. It's a Whirlpool microwave, but they don't put their brand on it. It's a little bit cheaper for some reason. We don't use the microwave that often, and so it fit just perfectly where we wanted it, and it was inexpensive. So we went with the Whirlpool microwave, but everything else is GE. We had a horrible time getting appliances just because of all of the COVID issues. There were so many delays in manufacturing and shipping, so it took forever to get all of the appliances, but we do have all new appliances. And originally I had thought I'm just gonna get a new dishwasher and I'll replace the rest of them later, and I thought, well, that's dumb, because we had all black appliances before this. That would have driven me crazy to have a stainless dishwasher and everything else black. So went ahead and invested in everything new at once. I did sell our old appliances on Facebook Marketplace, so it was not a complete loss, except for the dishwasher, obviously. That we threw away. But I'm really happy with how they look, and we're really enjoying those so far. So that is really where everything started, with repairing the damage and painting and getting new countertops. We also went ahead and replaced the can lights in the kitchen. They were builder grade can lights where you could see the bottom of the bulb. We were having some issues where they were doing weird things. Sometimes they would like smell like burning and different things. So we decided to go ahead and just replace them all for safety, but also because I think looks wise, these look a lot better. These are LED can lights. They have the frosted cover, so you can't see the light bulbs in there at all, or the LEDs in this case. And I was really worried about LED because normally in my brain when I think LED, I think about like that cheap kind of blue looking, but they do not look blue at all. They're really bright but not overpowering, and I think they do look a lot nicer. So we did replace those. We also got under the cabinet lights, which prior to this we had one little puck light that's like a little round one that was underneath that cabinet, but we did go ahead and put in under cabinet lights under all of the cabinets to, again, the whole key here is brighten everything up, and that really does brighten it up a lot because you can turn them off and you can see how much of a difference that makes. So even though it's still really bright in here, when they're on, it is a lot brighter, and that's exactly what I wanted. So I'm really happy with those. Those are LED as well. So when we got our new countertop, we also went ahead and got a new sink. This is an undermount sink. Prior to this, we did have a stainless steel double bowl above mount sink. Now we have the stainless steel below mount sink, which I think looks a lot more modern and streamlined, and it's easier to keep clean because you don't have that little piece here that gets stuff stuck in it. So I think it looks a lot nicer, and then we just have a basic faucet right there. I did talk about in my things to know before you remodel your kitchen video that if you're going from an above mount to a below mount, you might want to have a plumber come out and look at your pipes before you do anything with your countertops, because we did realize that the pipes were not the right length anymore for a garbage disposal. So we basically could not put a garbage disposal back in. It's kind of a weird story. You can watch that other video to kind of hear how it worked out. So we don't have a disposal anymore. I'm not that worried about it. We didn't really use the one we had before either, because it didn't work very well. So that's the only thing though that I wish we could have done, and I wish we would have known about a sink, is above mount and below mount, they have different lengths of pipe that you need, and ours did not fit anymore. So I think that's pretty much everything from a kitchen, just like functional standpoint. Everything else I'm going to share with you guys is basically decor at this point. So just a few things. I like to keep the countertops really cleaned off. I don't like to have a lot of appliances sitting around. The only appliance that we keep out is my husband's Keurig. He actually did get a new one. I'm kind of glad that his old one broke right when it did, because it was really big and bulky and black, and this one is gray, so it matches the appliances and the countertops a lot better, but also it's a lot smaller than the original. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. We just have our Google thing over there. Over here, I just have this little grouping here, and I tend to swap this stuff out for seasons. So here pretty soon we'll be decorating for Christmas, and I will have some Christmas things. But for right now, I have this little A that came from Hobby Lobby and this plant that came from Amazon. Just really cute and simple. And I like this from Amazon. It actually comes on the little stand. So I thought that was really cute, because I do have quite a few wood tones in the kitchen to pull in with the flooring, which I'll talk about with you in a minute. But I did want to pull in some warm tones just to give some warmth so it doesn't look too sterile in here. Paper towels, I have this little tray here that came from Amazon just to keep things kind of dry. Soap and a little plant from Amazon. And then also the Backsplash, I'm sure you might have noticed. Basic, clean, white subway tiles. I knew I wanted a backsplash, so like before we had kind of the builder grade backsplash that goes like this. When we got the granite, I was like, I don't want a backsplash anymore, because we're gonna do a tile backsplash. So that's what we did. So just plain white subway tiles. I feel like they are classic and very clean looking, and I like how that turned out. Over here next to these cabinets, I have these little wooden and black metal houses. They're actually, I got them from Hobby Lobby, and I had this one originally in my living room. And then when I decided that I wanted them in here, I went back to Hobby Lobby and got the smaller one, and we hung them there. I just have this little plant from Hobby Lobby. This home sign I think also came from Hobby Lobby, and this little wooden pear, I don't even know where I got it from. Probably Michael's or somewhere like that. But I think those look really cute right there. It's a perfect little spot for them. And I like the black against the side of the cabinet because it's up against the white, and it just looks really crisp. I really like how that turned out. Over here, we also changed Loki's water bowls, because before we had some water damage on the side of the cabinet where water was splashing over when he would drink, and it was making a mess. So I knew I needed to do something to protect this new cabinet once we got everything back in here. So I found this kneader feeder. I went ahead and went with the brown just so it would match the floor a little bit better. But so far it's working really well. There has not been any water splashed outside of this bowl ever since we got it. And at first I thought he was gonna be afraid of it because he's a big chicken and he's pretty much afraid of everything. But he didn't really mind. He kind of looked at it funny when he first used it because it is louder. These stainless steel bowls are a little bit louder than the ceramic ones he had before. But after the first few times, he was fine with it, and it does keep things a lot cleaner. So if you have a messy pet eater, then definitely look into a kneader feeder, because I think they are a really great option. So I don't worry anymore about him getting water on the baseboards or the wall or the cabinet. And then over on this wall, I just have this cute little sign that says eat. Obviously it came from Hobby Lobby, and so did the fork and the spoon. I just think it's a really cute little pop over there. And it was really inexpensive because obviously it was a Hobby Lobby, so it was like 50% off when I got it. So very affordable. The only other thing I have to show you guys from the art kind of decor category is this print. Now actually, obviously it's not hung up yet. It just came in yesterday, and I wish I could show you all of them, but the other two panels that I got to go on each side are pictures of my girls' faces. And you guys know that I don't show their faces in these videos, but I wanted something for this wall. I wanted something to go behind the dining table. I wanted something big and something that hung vertically. And when I saw these prints you can get made from Smallwood's Home, I was super excited. They are 22 by 44, so they're really big. And you just upload the picture that you want, and you can get them printed in a bunch of different sizes. So I did go with the vertical. So once we hang them up, It's gonna have one big one here in the middle and then one on each side. And I'm super excited with them. They're just some pictures that I took of the girls. We went to a sunflower field a few months ago. So I took some pictures of them, and you can choose the frame color. I did go with this more, I think they just call it stain, and I like how it kind of pulls in some of the wood tones of the floor, and it also ties in with the wood on that one. It may look black, but it's actually a kind of a dark chocolate brown. So that's why I went ahead and chose the brown for that. They do have black, and I think white was another option they had. Super excited. I cannot wait for tomorrow because my husband's gonna hang them on this wall, and I think that's just gonna be the perfect thing to put in here to add a touch of my girls in here, but also just some really pretty art that takes up this whole wall. So just imagine this being hung up and then a picture of my oldest and a picture of my youngest right there next to it. It's gonna be beautiful. So definitely check them out if you're looking for some custom artwork. Okay, so for the table, I actually did a whole separate video about this. This is actually a table from IKEA that we've had probably 10 years or so. And it was black. The table and the chairs were black, and I painted them white with chalk paint. If you guys wanna see how I did it, definitely check out that video. I'll link it for you in the description box. The rug I actually found at HomeGoods, and it's exactly what I was looking for because I wanted something that was not too white, because when our dog walks in the back door, he almost always steps on it, and if it's muddy, he'll get mud on it. So I needed something that wasn't too light, but I definitely didn't want something dark. I wanted a contrast with the flooring and something that would tie in all of the gray and neutral tones that are in the rest of the room. And I think this does that perfectly. It's got creams and grays and some taupes and other neutral colors. They're all mixed in together. There's not a distinct pattern individually, which I also like because I didn't want something that was too geometric. And this is like the perfect rug, and I love it, and it was only like $150, so super excited with that. If you guys are looking for a rug, definitely check out places like HomeGoods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. They usually have a lot, and I think it's a really, really pretty rug. Again, I love how that looked. I love how that ties in all of the neutral tones, and I love how it pops off of the floor, which is the next thing to talk about. This floor has kind of been a pain because of other issues we had getting it in, and it was kind of a mess, but now that it's in, I'm really happy with it. I did not want vinyl flooring. We had cheap cheap builder grade roll vinyl in here before, and I didn't want vinyl again because I thought it doesn't hold up. You drop something on it, it gets a chunk out of it. You drop a can, it gets a chunk out of it. And I just didn't want that. But I didn't know what to get because I liked the look of laminate flooring, but you're not really supposed to use them in a kitchen because of water and how they're not supposed to get wet or stay wet. So I really didn't know what to get. This is actually vinyl flooring that looks like more of a laminate. I don't know if you can see, like there's a little bit of a grain to it, but it's smooth. They had some little sample pieces, so we took them home and we tried to destroy it. We soaked a piece of it in water all night. My husband stabbed it repeatedly with a knife. We were just trying to see how resilient it was gonna be, because it's going to scratch in here. It's gonna get things dropped on it. It's gonna have knives dropped on it. It's gonna have cans dropped. It's gonna have dog toenails, in and out the back door. So it needs to be durable. But the reason I was encouraged is because we literally tried to destroy that sample and we couldn't. And I like the color. I like the variation of tones. I like that it's dark, but it's not like completely dark. It's not one big solid color at the bottom. So I think that gives a little bit of interest. And that's one reason. Another reason why I wanted to pull in some wood tones with some of the artwork and stuff sitting around, just to kind of pull in a little bit of that warmth. So really, I think all there is left to talk about is the light fixtures. Because I have the dark knobs and the darker floor, I really wanted a darker light fixture to kind of balance out this side of the room. Since we do have the white table and chairs, the light rug, I wanted something darker. And we bought a couple lights from Lowe's that were lighter, and it's not what I wanted. They did not have what I wanted, and I knew I wanted a dark light. And this is actually, again, it looks black, but it is it's that same bronze color that the knobs are. This actually came from Wayfair because we couldn't find exactly the right size, color, style that I wanted. And when I looked at Wayfair and I saw this one, I was like, that is exactly what I want. And it is beautiful, and I think it makes the kitchen. I even like the design that it puts on the ceiling. I think it's really pretty. We do have a dimmer over here, so if you don't want it that bright, then you can turn it down. And you need to make sure you get dimmable LEDs, because we learned with our other light fixture that if you don't get dimmable LEDs, but you have a dimmer and you try to dim it, they basically flash like some kind of like techno disco or something. So make sure you get dimmable LED lights if you have a dimmer and you're switching to LED bulbs. But I just really love the light fixture. I think it makes the kitchen. It definitely gives it that balance that I wanted of something dark on this side to kind of match some of the darker things on that side. So I love it. And once we hung that, then we decided we were gonna go ahead and paint this. That was actually originally stainless, or it was originally brushed nickel. And I think it would have been okay, I guess, to leave it that, because it would have still matched the appliances and it would have matched the sink, but I wanted all the light fixtures to be the same. So we basically just spray painted that same bronze. It was just a spray paint of like Rust-Oleum metallic bronze, I think is what it's called, or oil rub bronze. And that is what we painted that with. Hung it back up and you would never know that it wasn't a light fixture that originally was bronze. I'm really happy with how things turned out. I am really excited, and I'm even more excited that it's over, because it is a huge undertaking to redo a kitchen anyway, but especially when you have water damage and you're trying to repair that, and also when you're trying to homeschool and work at home. It was pretty disastrous there for a while. But everything's done now. It turned out so well, and I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. I know so many of you have been asking, is it done? Is it done? And I was just like, well, we gotta wait a little bit longer. It's almost done. It's almost done. It's finally done. I love how it turned out. I cannot believe it's my kitchen, and it's so bright and pretty. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I'll try to remember to put paint colors and things down in the description box, but if I've forgotten something, you guys let me know. Just ask me and I'll get back to you. I'll try to remember to link like the little plants and the kneader feeder and things like that I can find links for. The lamp, the light, of course, from Wayfair and things like that. But you guys let me know if you have any specific questions or things you want to know more about. Let me know that in the comment. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And make sure you check out that video that I did a few weeks ago about painting the table with chalk paint, and also things to know before you remodel your kitchen. I think if you have any kitchen dreams at all of redoing anything, you need to watch that video before you do anything, because I think we learned quite a bit in this whole process, and I wanted to share with you guys in that video, so definitely check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.